One night, as thunder rumbled in St. Luke's Hospital and rain drummed on the windows, the usual night routine was suddenly disrupted by an incredible event. A huge tiger burst into the main hall of the building, its fur shining like fire under the light of hospital lamps. The sudden appearance of a huge predator caused a real panic, and doctors, nurses and patients rushed to scatter. Nurse Anna, known for her composure and courage even in the most extreme situations, was one of the few who did not succumb to the general panic. Her eyes widened not from fear, but from admiration as she watched the majestic animal, which, despite its wild nature, seemed to be looking for something or someone here. The tiger looked more confused and looking for salvation than aggressive. The girl was surprised to notice that there was a small cub in its powerful jaws. The soaked baby had stripes on his body, but he didn't look like an ordinary tiger cub at all. However, this was far from the main problem now, as it was urgently necessary to take some measures. Anna, driven by a desire to help, cautiously approached the tiger, despite the huge risk. Meanwhile, Carlos, the head of security at the hospital, had already called the police, informing them of the emergency situation. Left alone with the animals in the corridor, Anna noticed that the tiger, despite its imposing appearance, was exhausted and severely exhausted, and its ribs were clearly visible under its wet fur. Deciding to act on her own, Anna led the tiger and the mysterious cub into a small room where medical instruments and supplies were stored. As soon as they entered, the girl locked the door, knowing full well that she had placed herself in a trap with a large predator. The tiger carefully placed the cub on the floor and retreated to a corner, carefully watching every movement of the man. While waiting for help, Anna examined the cub, which, despite its exotic and unfamiliar appearance, looked very fragile and defenseless. The girl didn't know which species he belonged to, but she was determined to save his life. The next few minutes were stressful. Anna used her medical knowledge and improvised means to help the baby and feed him. The tiger silently watched what was happening, and his heavy breathing was lost in the sound of rain pounding on the roof. Meanwhile, outside the locked room, Carlos was helping medical staff and patients evacuate. The head of the guard could not figure out where the huge predator appeared in their hospital, but he was glad that the animal did not harm anyone. As the night dragged on, the tension at St. Luke's Hospital only increased. Anna constantly watched the tiger and the cub, who calmed down thanks to her presence and willingness to help. Severely exhausted and weakened, the tiger rested with half-closed eyes, while watching every movement around, as if afraid of something, and the cub, wrapped in a warm blanket, stopped shaking from the cold and finally fell asleep. At that time, Carlos was talking with representatives of the city administration, coordinating further actions. The police and the Wildlife Control Service have already entered the building, preparing for any development of the current situation. The tense moment was interrupted by the arrival of Dr. Ricardo Meneses, a well-known specialist in big cats, who was urgently called to resolve an unusual situation. The doctor carefully looked into the room with the tiger, and when he saw that the predator was not aggressive, he went inside, trying not to make sudden movements. Meneses examined the cub and confidently declared that it was not a tiger cub. The doctor had a hunch about which species the cub belonged to, but it was too improbable to discuss right now. Anna explained to the doctor that the tiger did not show aggression at all, and told about her actions in relation to the unexpectedly appeared animals. After listening to the girl, Meneses suggested that the tiger and the cub were illegally kept in terrible conditions, from where they miraculously managed to escape. This explains their unexpected appearance at the city hospital. Meanwhile, news about the appearance of a tiger and a mysterious cub in the hospital began to spread rapidly, attracting numerous passers-by and reporters to the building. Meneses did not want random witnesses to see what was happening inside, as this could scare off intruders who kidnapped animals and mocked them. Therefore, Meneses waited for the arrival of his colleagues to help him transfer the unfortunate creatures to a rehabilitation center for wild animals for proper care and further study. The tiger was euthanized without incident for safe transportation, and the cub was placed in a special incubator. Fortunately, the transportation was successful, and a few hours later the tiger and the cub were already in an animal rehabilitation center. Upon arrival, they were greeted by a team of veterinarians. The tiger and the cub were first quarantined. Under the guidance of Dr. Meneses, the specialists planned further steps to restore the animals that came to them and study them. Genetic tests have shown that the cub may be a descendant of the Tasmanian tiger, which has been considered extinct for more than 100 years. Dr. Meneses oversaw the investigation, which was supposed to reveal the truth about the origin of the tiger and the cub and their unexpected appearance at the hospital. Repeated, more in-depth analyses showed that the unusual cub could indeed be a Tasmanian tiger. However, scientists did not rush to conclusions, as this could become a real sensation in the scientific and animal world. The incredible discovery was decided to temporarily keep a secret from the public. The scientists plunged into intense scientific work. Each new analysis of the cub raised even more questions. The team of experts sought to understand the origin of the mysterious animal and its inexplicable connection with an adult tiger. A large-scale investigation soon began. With the assistance of police officers, a small, recently abandoned farm was found near the city, from where the tiger allegedly escaped. Throughout the farm, police and scientists found numerous traces of illegal keeping of wild animals, including cramped cages and chains with traces of animal activity. The investigation revealed that until recently there were dozens of exotic animals on this farm, which poachers and smugglers kept here in terrible conditions, and then sold all over the world for a lot of money. It seems that the tiger somehow managed to get out of the cage and escape from the infernal farm, taking a small cub with him in his teeth. So 2 animals ended up in the city hospital. Unfortunately, the criminals found out about the approach of the police and managed to escape from the farm. After the investigation was completed, Dr. Meneses, along with wildlife experts, organized a large press conference in order to tell the whole world the terrible truth. Meneses showed a tiger that escaped from poachers and told about the terrible conditions in which it was kept by illegal animal traffickers. Dr. Vargas, a geneticist, has officially confirmed the high probability that the rescued cub may be a Tasmanian tiger, until now considered extinct. Anna, who has been helping to take care of the animals all this time, also spoke about the importance of protecting all types of animals from threats from humans. This discovery became a real sensation, and scientists promised to do everything possible to save the rescued Tasmanian tiger. After a sensational press conference, the whole world learned about the incredible find, which drew the attention of many people to the problem of illegal animal trafficking and the need to protect them. The investigation continued in several countries around the world, and after a few months, the police and animal rights activists eventually managed to find a huge complex where poachers kept hundreds of species of exotic animals for their illegal resale around the world. Apparently, a tiger and a baby Tasmanian tiger were also brought from here, but fortunately, the animals managed to escape from the smugglers. Thus, the mysterious appearance of a tiger with a cub in one of the city's hospitals launched a whole chain of events and led to the disclosure of terrible crimes related to illegal maintenance, smuggling and sale of exotic animals. Several dozen caught criminals were imprisoned, and the rest of the suspects were put on the international wanted list. In addition, an incredibly rare Tasmanian tiger was saved, and now geneticists and animal welfare experts are trying to preserve this amazing creature in order to one day return it to its natural habitat.